This is Goku-san, DBZ, and welcome back for a new Top 5 Fighters list. This time, I thought we'd do a new special one. I'm gonna get ready soon to start doing a new series of Top 5 Fighters lists. And it's gonna be for each console generation. Though, starting with the fourth console generation, since that's really when fine games really got off the ground. There wasn't really much in the third console generation. So with that said, first up though, this is the first official of the new Top 5 Fighters list. And this one will be top 5, these are my personal picks for top 5 best fighting games on handhelds. So strictly on handheld, and these will not be like ports, handheld ports. These will be games that were exclusively released only on handhelds. So, with that said, or at least released here in the West, anyways. So, with that said, a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut to the top 5 list. First up, released on the PlayStation Portable, released in 2009, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny, which is an okay game. It's not a bad handheld game, to be fair. And it's one of the better ones, solid overall gameplay wise. Graphically, it's not bad, I would say. It's almost on par with PS2, which is not bad for handheld. Other honorable mention that didn't quite make the cut: Soul Eater Battle Resonance, released on the PSP in 2009. This fighting game, however, was released only domestically in Japan. So if you want to play this game, you have to get it imported from Japan, or like I did, get it from a anime convention like I did a few years back. That's how I've gone probably about a quarter of my Japanese imports I got through anime conventions. A specific convention called Tsubasacon, which is really good. Now, coming in at number 5. This game was released on the PSP, released in 2011. Very solid, and in my opinion, is the best of the 3 games in the franchise. 2 were released on the PSP, and the 3rd was released on the PS4. But in my opinion, this is the best of the 3 games. Coming in number 5 is Dissidia 012 Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy Dissidia 012. However, what order you want to go with is fine. But yes, of course it was PSP exclusive. You can get on the digital store for now on the PS Vita for like $9.99. It's a solid price, and I highly recommend, if you get a chance, pick it up on the Vita or on the PSP, whichever. Though you can't really use the online store anymore on the PSP unless you get a physical copy of the game, which is pretty cheap overall. So check it out. Coming at number 4 is a game that was released exclusively on the Nintendo 3DS. So, with that said, it was released in 2011, like I said, exclusively on Nintendo 3DS, and it is solid. It has storylines and everything from all 4 games in the Dead or Alive franchise. It is called Dead or Alive Dimensions, and it is a really solid game. You get to play through story modes of storylines from Dead or Alive 1 to Dead or Alive 4, which is pretty cool. Especially given I love the story and Dead or Alive 3 quite a bit, so it's awesome getting to replay that. And graphically, it is one of the few games that actually uses the 3D effect to its potential and really makes the game really gorgeous looking. It looks kind of downgraded when you turn off the 3D effect, unfortunately. It's one of the few games that actually looks good with the 3D. And the soundtrack is solid too. Next up, coming at number 3, is another game. I'm not sure if it was released ever in North America or Europe. because I picked up a Japanese import copy of the game. It's solid, amazing. Technically, it's a remastered collection of two games, but it was released exclusively, to my knowledge, on the PSP. And it is superb. You get remaster of two classic 2D fighters. And they are the vampire games, aka the Darkstalker games. This game was released in 2004 on the PSP, and it is called Vampire Chronicle The Chaos Tower. And it has a special new mode exclusive to this game called the Tower Mode, which is quite interesting. If you ever get a chance, pick up Vampire Chronicle. Seriously, it's good. You get a remaster of Vampire Hunter, aka Darkstalkers Night Warrior, the second game, and you get a remastered copy of Darkstalkers 3, aka Vampire Savior. Definitely a solid pickup. If you are a fan of classic 2D Capcom, this is a must-own for handheld. Coming in at number 2 is a game you hear the music in the background from. Released exclusively also on the PSP. From, of course, Namco Bandai. It is technically a port of Tekken 5, but this version includes tons of new stuff. It includes 2 special bonus characters exclusively only in this version of the game, which you get Iron King and, of course, Zergain Dragunov. This was the very first game, actually, Zergain Dragunov appeared in. And, as I said, exclusive to PSP, Tekken Dark Resurrection, which I love a lot of the remixes of the music. I like the redone stages, and I kind of like the redesign of Jinpachi. I think he's kind of cool looking. Still, I think his overall original Tekken 5 version is probably the best, but still, thoroughly enjoy it. And this is definitely worth owning, in my opinion. It is the best Tekken game on handheld, and it is easily one of the best games ever made, fighting-wise, on handhelds, because it uses the same configuration as the PS2 version. So that's really good. Coming at number 1 is, in my opinion, the best version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, and it is an exclusive to the PSP, though I believe you can also get on the Vita on the PSN store. Well, you can anyways. And it is a superb game to own. It is called Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. And you even get a special bonus character exclusively only in this version. But this is hands down the overall, in my opinion, the best version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. If you want to play another version, then I probably recommend getting the Dreamcast version. It's probably the second best way to play. Now, if you want to play a normal console, then yeah, probably the Dreamcast version of Alpha 3 is the best overall. But in my opinion, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max is a definitive version of Alpha 3 and is easily the best overall Street Fighter game ever released on handheld. And given it's an exclusive only to handheld, which it was released in 2006 on the PSP. With that said, these are, in my opinion, the 5 best, more or less, handheld exclusive fighting games. With that said, stay tuned in the near future for Top 5 Fighters for future lists. Top 5 fighting games of the 4th console generation, 5th console generation, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I'll see you next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoy the Dark Resurrection music in the background.